Hey Taurus, welcome to your June reading. I already began doing the reading for you guys, and then my Coles shopping came, so I had to stop and bring in the shopping. So I just started, so we're good. Also, I'll just let you know that I'm using 3 new decks. So obviously I've got Tarot for the main. I have the Mystical Realm Tarot. I was telling you about how this deck came to me as like a surprise deck. So I ordered a deck for my mom for Mother's Day to go towards a little hamper for her. And what came wasn't the deck. Like when I actually looked at what I ordered, the name of the deck was the one that I received, but the imagery that I actually wanted of the deck was not what I received, which was intended for my mom. So I opened it up. I was like, I'll see if these are suitable for my mom. Anyway, just feeling them in my hands, I was like, this is my deck. So my mom didn't get one. I owe her one. And it became mine. The other 2 decks is what I received for Mother's Day from my children. So obviously I purchased them from my children, which is Practical Magic Oracle. I actually love these. I got them because of the ravens and that on the cover. It's totally me thing with the ravens, obviously Ravenstone. And I also have I'm using it as a prop for my thing, Lucy Cavendish, the Solitude Witch Oracle as well. Now, if you followed me for a while, you'll know that Lucy Cavendish's anything really resonates with me, so I just had to have it when I saw it. So, just beginning our reading then, Taurus. So you are my first reading of the day. Luckily, I had a little trial and error with the first one, so hopefully there'll be less stumbling over my words. So we begin with really, really good cards. I actually got kind of excited with this one. So we have new beginnings. Now we're in an energy, Taurus, where I feel like finally we're kind of getting through the fog of the vibes that we've been in this year, into the kind of more where we knew it was coming, but we're just waiting and waiting. It's finally here. I feel like we are surrounded by opportunities. Now, I was going to say like I feel like we are surrounded by support, but the feeling that I get is more like everything seems to be supporting us during this time, like the energy, astrology, people around us. I feel like we are very supported in what we're creating for ourselves. Now, this card does not feel passive, as though, things are just going to fall on our laps. It's like we are very proactive in this, but I do feel like to the sense where it is easy, because this is our time. We are really making this happen. Now, when I first read these cards to you, because I've read these 2 and I started on the first card in the tarot before I had to finish the reading, I hadn't seen the second card, which is I paired them together of the 2 decks. And I was saying how it's kind of like an inspiring time. I feel like we're very inspired. I then saw that this card is a gentle path of inspiration. Now, with this, look at this. This solitary witch is just in her element. Now, she is not bothered about whatever anyone else thinks, and people may even think that her way doesn't seem the best way of doing what she's doing. Now, ignore all that noise. You know exactly what you need to do for you, and your way is truly the best way. Now, I do feel like you are supported by others around you, and actually people as well. Now, this can be supported by people in your life, supported by people who you maybe need to work with, or that you may come across. I just feel as though you are actually in this very supportive energy, like swimming in it. Okay, just leave that on the side. Thank you. I have my son home. He's 3, so he may interrupt a little bit. But yeah, she kind of knows what she needs to do, and she's very relaxed into it. And this is exactly what I feel for us, Taurus. If you see this, it's kind of like she is very vibrant, she is passionate, she's thriving in this energy. And the same with this, she's chill, she's just relaxing into it, she knows what she needs to do. Things are getting done, and I feel that for us, Taurus, but it might not be fast paced, it might not be quick, it's like slow and steady wins the race, that kind of vibe of falling into what you want and need to do. At the same time, again, being the driver, with the new beginnings, Lady of Air, she flows with what she needs to do. Now, I don't feel this passive flowing for us. I feel like we are very much in this. And I feel, again, with that inspiration is what's keeping us in the good flow. So keep that in mind. We are not just seeing what will happen. We're kind of getting into it now. The first card that we have here really goes with this energy. It is the Hermit in reverse. I do feel like there is perhaps something to learn or kind of research, look into in order to get to where you need to go. I feel as though listening to people, again, if you need professional advice on whatever you're jumping into next, seek that wisdom, study upon what it is that you want to be doing, or that kind of vibe. It's kind of like there's something to learn that you may not understand yet, is what I want to say with that. This Hermit card in reverse as well, with how I often interpret the Hermit, I feel as though it's time for coming out of our shells. We may have been taking time to really, go within and kind of figure things out for ourselves. I feel like our focus is more on the outside than the inside. In reverse, it can mean the need to kind of do what you need to do. I guess, but I don't know. I'm getting that sense of us coming out into the world now and making our mark. So that is exactly how I'm going to read that for us, Taurus. But again, I do feel this urge to be gentle and kind on ourselves. I just keep being brought back to that gentle path of inspiration. And it feels, again, it's a gentle path. It's taking it easy rather than rushing and forcing something. It's being inspired and going the way that inspiration takes us, right? The next card we have is Five of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you're no longer in the dark. I do feel like things will be revealed to us during this time, but it's more like, instead of, sometimes you can interpret the Five of Pentacles as being like things are hidden and having to kind of, in a way, work towards something by putting yourself out there, I guess. And this, to me, I feel as though things will just kind of be magnetized to you. I just really don't feel like we need to be making things difficult. And I think that, again, feeling left out in the cold is a vibe that we are not living for this year. And I'm definitely feeling that. There could be this kind of wiggling room, I can't even talk. You know what I'm trying to say. Where it's going from one thing to another. Now, as an introvert and someone who is very isolated from normal people's lives, it kind of makes me feel very, very awkward having to put myself in a position. For example, so I'm trying to look for a place to live. I'm in this kind of stage where I've been needing to move for quite a while, but there's been things that need to be done before that level comes. So I keep saying, oh yeah, I'll be moving soon. But it's like that, I'm still there in that limbo-ness. So now I'm having to do things that I'm uncomfortable with. For example, making phone calls. That's something that makes me feel really anxious, especially if I have to ask things that I need answers. I'm really anxious about it, like, because I know I can be socially awkward and that's not a time where I should be socially awkward on the phone. It's like an added pressure for me. And I feel that sense of having to do some things that might make you feel a little bit awkward and frustrated, maybe because it's getting you out of the comfort zone. But as I've been saying throughout this year, the astrology and the energy is all about, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, if it scares you a little bit, that's probably means that you should be doing it, because you know when something's actually a literal fear, like your body not wanting to do something, opposed to you having that fear, again, that is a made up reality. Something that's preventing you from getting what you want. And it's so, if it scares you, have that internal conversation with yourself and go for it. If you know that it's not a literal, real life emergency situation where you should not take the risk. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, moving on to the next column, we have Set Boundaries, Lady Avalon. Now, when I got her for a reading I did for myself the other day, it very much feels as, again, that you're holding the power right now. She is paired with her herb garden. It's about tending to your own garden and not worrying about other people's. This Set Boundaries, if you look at her, she has the sword kind of pulled as though she's using it as a shield. She's not being defensive. She is not pointing that sword at anybody. She's just showing that I have this. Don't cross these boundaries or you might get hurt. And that's the energy I kind of want you to be in. It's like I feel as though for some time you may have been putting yourself on pause. And I do feel like many of us Taurus, if not all of us, are actually coming in a space of acknowledgement based on like just Uranus being in Taurus, and it was kind of wanting that freedom and independence in a way that means for our own personal values. For myself, this is actually learning to be an independent person in the world. I kind of feel as though I've literally pressed pause on myself, probably for my entire existence, and I'm now in a space where I need to put myself in the world. And this is kind of what I feel here. It's acknowledging whatever it is that means to you that you belong there, and you're not going to let anybody stop you. Now this means as well, you are not going to be interfering with anyone else, because you're just behind this sword. You're just taking care of your needs and your values, and that in that boundary is your loved ones, people you care about, your friendships. Again, this is based on your own value. So this may well be, that you want to be more more social this year. Let's just say this is a value of yours. You haven't been able to be as social as you like to be because you focused on career. Let's use that as an example. Then behind this sword is going to be those friends that you love and cherish. And on the other side is going to be the ones that have played you, that get in the way, that cause gossip. And you're just going to tend to your garden and leave that. And they're going to be dead to you. I mean, we're Taurians, right? So we're very capable of people being dead to us if they be toxic to us. But the idea is not to be dramatic about it, not to cause trouble, because you're tending to your garden, you're in your element. And with that solitary witch, I mean, these whole cards give me taking care of your needs and your own wants, desires, your life. You are participating in your life, and potentially for the first time in your life. If, for example, like me, even though you might have, like, I've always said to myself, like, no one will ever stop me doing this and all that kind of thing. I was that kind of person, because Taurians, we have that in us to have this drive. However, we are also very nurturing, and it's often, if you are like me, we put other people before ourselves, and then we end up being in this situation where it's like, hey, where am I actually in this last 10 years? There's sparks and little parts of yourself, but if you're constantly tending to other people's gardens and dealing, again, like for me, I can be a little bit of a protector, and so I protect the people that I care about, their energy. I help them come up with solutions. I support them in their endeavors, and all of this to the point where I've been so supportive of them. I'm like, where are my endeavors? Like, I might have took a moment in there, like for a month, and then again I'm back to being the supportive role of other people. So I don't quite get to where I need to be. And this is a time for us definitely to be focusing on getting where we need to be. Yes, what's up, little bug? Yeah, you can tip it out. Just don't lose them. And we have the Five of Swords in reverse. We actually have the entire deck is in reverse. Very interesting. Let's see what I get from this for us. I definitely feel like the times are changing for us. It's kind of as though we no longer need to stand with what we used to have, is what I'm kind of getting from this. I feel as though what has worked for us before, it's just not going to work for us anymore. I do get this sense again of not walking on ice, not allowing yourself to tippy toe gently through your life. It's now time for you to be standing tall and working through what you need to work through. I do feel as though you're ready to let go of things and put it behind you. But this may be, again, the wiggling. It's because wriggling and wiggling is the same. So when I say it, it's just messing with my brain. But this could be that discomfort here. But I feel as though there's definitely something that you are letting go of. However, I just feel like it is something like a value that has done you well so far. Maybe it's protected you. Maybe it has stopped you feeling uncomfortable. It's now time to just leave that behind. It does not serve you now moving forward, for sure. We have a change in tides. We have the Wheel of Fortune. It is in reverse. I feel as though you're actually on the right direction now. I feel as though you may have been lost for quite some time, Taurus. And this to me is actually saying, like, now it's time to let go of things that have held you back for a very, very long time. Definitely getting that vibe of a very long time. Things are growing in your garden. Things are building around you. And this is the time to be taking those risks in order to change your look. And you are definitely the one that is doing this. Nobody else is helping to the degree where, you know, this is not your decision and not your life. You are definitely in control here. And again, I am getting passion through this, but it just feels as though you're finally wielding your power. And with that means the universe is also supporting you because you're supporting yourself. I'm loving that. I'm loving it. Awesome. I feel like I had 2 cards somewhere here, but... Oh, yeah, in this same card. Sorry, that is in that column. So again, with this, we have wishes. That is paired with the set your boundaries, her garden, and wishes. It's kind of like dream big. Tend to your desires, tend to your wishes. Make those goals because this time the energy is supporting you. And I do feel like it's within reach. You're definitely building something, but you also actually, this could be a time of inheritance and gaining something that you need. So this could be financial increase, definitely with this card, in this position, because you're really fertile during this time. It could also be that, again, you're very fertile, you're growing and nurturing and nourishing something into existence. It's definitely a time for getting what you want, as long as you're, again, working with the energy. I do feel like this is not passive. I do feel like being passive is still going to reap rewards for you. I feel as though there's something coming in for us that is very positive, and it could literally just be, you know, if you are just going to be passive during this time, because that's what you need. We are all individuals, and sometimes that's what we just need to do for ourselves. That, again, this is a positive time where something will flourish or work in your favor. So don't feel as though, you know, if you are feeling vulnerable, and to take care of your needs is literally by taking care of that day to day, waking up in the morning and doing what you need to do. That's you coming into your power as well. That's you trusting, and again, doing things gently and doing it your way that other people might not see as effective. For me, taking time to myself and energetically refreshing does a lot for myself than forcing myself to get out, do something, and you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing, that pushing, it works for some people. They need that. They need to get out and to feel refreshed. I need to take care of myself on a very emotional level, and that takes time, sometimes just isolating myself and keeping to myself. So I kind of want you to realize not to punish yourself through this, but I do feel like this is an active time to really take advantage of if you are in that energetic level here. And actually it's funny I'm saying this because I have in the next card, release your pain. So we do have something to release and let go of, and I felt that over here with that 5 of Swords in reverse. This is a time for shedding and letting go of the old. Again, we are in these new beginnings. When there's new beginnings, especially when you're just coming into it, there's this level of still letting go of what you had, and it can come with a grieving period as well, so be kind to yourself. I'm going to read those 2 columns. I have 4 columns of my tarot, and I have 3 columns in the keywords. So it's just, yeah, sorry, just me muttering to myself trying to figure out what I've done. In this Release Your Pain, there are 2 foxes here. And again, and she is auburn haired as well herself. I do feel like when I get these auburn hair cards, we're saying we're working with fire energy here. Now, foxes are really smart, intelligent, and cunning beings as well. I feel like being smart and, again, using things to your advantage to get ahead, I feel that is literally the advice through this. It's seeing the opportunities. This is not being horrible and mean and, you know, throwing somebody else under the bus. It's seizing opportunities. It's working with energies. It's realizing, again, also see the people in your life who are sly and vicious, and who will do that to you, who will throw you under the bus at first opportunities. And again, releasing those. I do kind of want to touch on that aspect of the fox, but I'm getting more of the sense again of you seizing the opportunities, being smart and cunning, and going in the way that you need to get to where you're going. She is definitely going, again, she has this gate, a portal kind of behind her. I am actually seeing it as though you have already come through this portal, so you're already under the other side. Don't touch that. That's bird poops. Yes, that's bird poops. Stinky. Stinky, stinky. This is paired with her Book of Shadows, and again, so this is her personal inventory of the magic that she wields. So I would say, again, trust in what you've learned and what you know this far, your own inner magic. And again, with her, she's relaxing into this. I definitely get this vibe of not forcing something and being understanding of the self, and using you to your best and biggest advantage. This is a fox gate under that release your pain. I do feel, again, by being smart, by overcoming things, this is what's got you into this position you are now. And this is where it comes to the word that just popped in my head that I kind of dislike with the strength. It's something that has stuck with me, I guess, for the last year. Being strong and resilient really sucks, right? It has its advantages though. And this is what's got you to where you are. But I feel like now you need to realize that being resilient isn't necessarily a good thing, because it means you struggle through things, you get through pain, and you've been through a lot. Which for any human, and I feel like there's so many of us these days, that we have been so resilient in life that we lose a part of who we are. I kind of want you to release being resilient a little bit. And I don't mean, I'm going to try and explain this in the best way that and how I mean it, because again, it's like, oh, so not be resilient and break down at every little thing. That's not going to happen, right? No, I don't mean it like that. What I mean is realizing that you should not have to live resiliently. This is not a human kind of emotion we're supposed to live in. It's a fight and flight response. We've become resilient. We're living in that moment where we have to overcome things. We have to be that strong person. We have to be the bigger person. We have to be the one that literally helps someone else get over their trauma. And it's freaking exhausting, right? Because we're in that trauma too, but we can't deal with that. It's time to realize that yes, you fucking can, and you don't have to be that person. And I'm actually telling you to stop being that person right now, because you're tending to your own garden. You don't need to be that support for somebody else. Be kind, be empathetic, be nurturing, but stop putting yourself on the back burner to be resilient for somebody else. They do need a level of resilience themselves. But again, be there for our friends, be there for people we care about, do things that we need to do. To support those around us, but not to the extent that I feel, again, that we do and we have, where you are losing a piece of yourself. Take care of yourself and use that little bit of magic upon yourself to get to where you need to be. We have the Hierophant in reverse. I definitely feel like there's something to kind of harness here and reach on. I do think it's a time of learning and growth for us, but again, being a little bit more learning within yourself, get to know yourself a little bit better. I'm kind of getting that from this Hierophant in reverse, which how I'm reading. I mean, I read tarot very loosely. It's what it tells me. I actually kind of just use the cards to trigger my own intuition rather than actually reading the cards as they should be. Obviously, I use a bit of both, but what I'm saying is that's what it's telling me here. I feel as though actually people will look up at you during this time. They're looking at you, they're watching you, and actually what they're seeing is surprising, because they realize that, hey, wow, this person really does know her stuff, know his stuff. And this is what I feel here is like that you do, but I feel like, again, it's about getting to know yourself more, rather than focusing on other people during this time. Exactly what I was just saying about, again, stop putting yourself on hold for other people. I feel like you will inspire the people that would want you to be that person for them. You're going to inspire them maybe to actually be that person for themselves, but at least in a way where they look at you with awe and think, wow, she can take care of herself. And when I say she and he, it's just literally the first pronoun that comes out of my mouth. It's not me saying you are he or she. Yes. Anyway, we have the Death card in reverse. We definitely let go of things, and there may definitely be something that you do need to release, and I want you to focus on that, especially coming into the full moon. I feel as though the way these are laid out is we're coming into the full moon. This might be a really, really great time to get releasing. It may be a time for us actually to get rid of old things that we no longer need. So do that if you need to do that. Harvesting, charity. What I am getting with this card specifically is I feel as though you need to shine light on things that you need to release. So I do feel as though, again, doing a releasing ritual where you literally write a list of all things that you want to let go of, that you need to forgive, again, within yourself, forgiveness of yourself, more so than of others. It's like bringing that peace and letting go for yourself. And I want the focus on self, again, not on others. I don't want you to be going, I forgive my ex for this. if you need to do it, but I feel like it's more I forgive myself from how I made myself feel while I went through that. That's the kind of energy I want you to put into that. But again, then lighting that up. I feel like fire magic can be really kind of inspirational to you specifically. They can help burn and eradicate, cleanse the things that you have to release in your life. Definitely feel as though this is sort of again pointing out of the things that you've held on to before that don't serve you anymore. Let go of it. If it's tattered and worn, it's not going to be able to support you in your next phase of life. Take that analogy however you want to. This can, but I did mean it in terms of clothing and things that you don't want to wear, that don't fit you anymore, whether they're big or small, whether they're uncomfortable, whether you just don't like it on you. Get rid of it. You don't need it. But also take that very metaphorically as well, with people, with things, with situations. Get rid of it. So our final two cards, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. I do feel as though financially you are supported during this time, but just be a bit wary of outgoings. I just get this sense of pausing, like waiting before spending, which to me I would say that would be budget. Just take care of your finances, don't spend yet. It could be that something is coming in for you, so don't, it's like winning the lottery. I'm not saying you're going to win the lottery, I'm saying it's like winning the lottery. Some people know that it's coming in, so they'll spend before they even get their winnings, and this is sort of saying don't do that. Take heed first. But I feel like you are very comfortable with this. It could mean opposites, but I'm not getting that. I feel like you are very comfortable and grounded within this, that you will be, again, supported in this area in terms of abundance and finances. And we have the Seven of Swords underneath. You'll no longer be a struggle. Definitely, again, carrying with you what you need. And you're moving towards more solid ground is what I would say to this. You're moving towards something that, again, is I want to say straightforward. Actually, it feels like very much simple, very much in alignment with you, opposed to something that isn't, I guess. It's not coming to me other than that. It's just that something isn't. I do feel like what you have grown before you has flourished to its maximum, which means it is time for change and differences. Just be wary of what you are carrying with you. But again, I feel like you're moving towards safer ground. And I mean this in a very mental and literal sense, that I just feel that your energy is going to be protected much more moving forward. Again, moving away from secrets as well. I feel as though perhaps there has been this aspect of things being hidden to you and making you feel less secure in your life. And again, I get the sense of moving away from that. I'm loving that. Very interesting way of reading that. Yeah, it fell off. It fell off. Yeah, I don't feel this need. I feel as though, again, you are really protecting your own energy. And again, that's what I get up here about setting boundaries. I feel as though once you've gotten to know yourself and know what you desire and want, those boundaries are going to be in place for you. And then again, that's protecting your energy. I feel this is a very great reading, actually. I'm loving it. So yeah. Thank you, Taurus, for being here. Please comment below if you have any questions. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next month, guys. Thank you very much. Cat boy.